Welcome back to Central Coast Disc Golf. This is round 2 from the 2023 Discrafts Cascade Challenge. I'm your host, Nate Perkins, and I'm here with Washington State local Ella Hansen. Where are we at, Ella?
We are out in Shelton, which is just on the south end of the Olympic Peninsula, pretty close to the state capital, Olympia, and about an hour and a half from Seattle. Really nice property, beautiful woods. All that yellow you're seeing is Scotch broom, which is pretty but a weed. And we got a fun lead card for you today. Hole 1, par 3, 270 feet. Hitting a straight gap off the tee. Really just want something that's going to push straight and finish slightly left. You can kind of try to push the inside corner a little bit more, or just throw something more straight and try to get yourself an edge of the circle look. Lots of late trees here around the basket and some low-hanging branches. So if you do go long, you're going to have a low ceiling look at that elevated pin. So Discraft's own Vanessa Van Dyken shooting the hot round, tied with Kat Mertsch.
Hey, good to see her on the lead card. I feel like it's been a minute since we've seen her leading an event.
And I think this is the kind of golf that really suits her game. She's very good at hitting gaps and playing smart and conservative in the woods.
Kat Mertsch, the only player inside the top 10 of the world rankings here on this lead card. Everyone else is outside the top 25.
Canyon Lake, Texas, Lisa Fajkus.
And we've seen Kat play pretty well, winning her first Elite Series at Jonesboro about a month ago and staying on the lead card at Beaver State Fling last weekend. Lisa with a sponsor switch this year. She is now
Valley,
on Team
Washington,
Lone Star Disc.
Ananda.
Sai really loves that little two-step run-up.
Shortest run up in the game right now, Ella.
Yeah, I think so. But she makes it work. Not a huge distance thrower, but really working those controlled lines out here in the woods. That looks like just a layup for Vanessa.
Oh, no way. Hits the tree right in front of her.
It looked like the kind of like, I'm trying to just lay up really quick. Just pulled it a little left for Lisa. We see lots of ponchos and a couple of rain jackets. It was raining a little bit during time that these players were warming up, but we got pretty lucky that it stopped and we didn't have any rain for the rest of the round, at least for the last couple cards.
Yeah, were the tee pads wet at all?
I didn't notice it at all. I think those open holes were a little skippier with that wet grass, but didn't notice anything myself on the tee pads. Couple pars and a bogey for Lisa. Hole 2, 285 feet. You can take this wide gap or hit that smaller inside gap. It's pretty difficult to get all the way left to the basket if you're going around wide, but it is a little bit less scary of a shot. Really just trying to throw something that's going to go left, glide, stay in the air long enough to get you all the way to the basket. And like I said, this grass definitely, this fairway, playing a little bit skippier than it did on day one.
We're a little early out of the hand there.
Gets through. Yeah, that didn't look like what Vanessa was going for. Looked like a bit of a misrelease, but she's got a circle 2 look. Oh, Cat lining up the inside gap, pulling it left. And that's going to be a tough position to get up and down from.
Is I actually going with this wide hyzer? I feel like it's just kind of conceding a circle 2 look. It's pretty hard to get all the way back into the circle.
It is really hard. Lisa taking that more aggressive gap, getting a nice flare skip, rolling well inside the circle. That's a great shot from Lisa. So Cat trying to scramble. Gets a little bit inside there. And that's maybe a tiny little baby run, but really just trying to get close to the basket, take that bogey.
Couple of layups there. Oh, left side there
Left
for
side.
Lisa. It's the only way to bounce back from a 3-putt there on the first. Was the wind a factor for you guys this morning?
A little bit more so than day one. Felt like the wind was picking up, kind of going down this stretch of open air.
Yeah, kind of a tailwind left to right here on hole 3.
Yep. Definitely made you think a little bit more about your shot. This hole really just trying to get some distance, get close to the gap, and give yourself some sort of window up to the basket. FPO is playing to the longer basket here as a par 4, 660 feet. Definitely one of the tougher holes on this course.
This one was playing is the hardest hole yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Where does it rank for the second round? Decent move on the disc by Lisa.
This hole also first ranked. First most difficult hole.
Yeah.
Really easy to get that right distance on the first half of the hole, and then the second part of it definitely brings a lot more challenge.
Good shape there from Vanessa. Kind of conservative on the speed there. Inside just 2 steps and really gets these drivers up to speed. That's all hyzer there, and that's in the prime time.
Yep, that's a great Very controlled shot. And you can, it's possible to push up into the woods. We'll see if Kat's, it looks like she's going a little more aggressive here. But it doesn't necessarily give you much of an advantage in getting caught up in the one bush in the fairway. But that bush actually should give Kat a nice angle to the basket. Lisa calling for it to flip. Gets herself maybe to 70 feet, so. Oh, that is a rough kick. Just pushing the right side of the fairway. And she's going to have a really tough scramble from there.
Yeah, it shows you how tough the birdie hit here is in the third. That's two pretty quality shots from Sai, and she's still 45 short.
Kat doesn't quite. I think that's just a little bit of a nose up forehand there. So Vanessa in a really tough spot, just pitching out. That's a big feature of this course. A lot of late trees that you have to miss. That can kind of push what might be a good pinned shot into a circle's edge look or circle 2 look.
It's happened quite a few times this weekend. It can be really frustrating for the competitor. Oh.
Lisa giving that a toss. She ended in a little bit more open position than I was expecting.
It's kind of patented at this point from Sai. She really likes to stretch it out.
She does. She does. Yeah, a lot of players. Good putt for Vanessa.
She just holds that stance too.
Yeah. A lot of players are looking more to use their legs for power, and Sai she's generating plenty of power from her upper body and just wants to get that angle as good as she can. So, yeah, this was the hardest hole. No birdies today. Taking pars, definitely not a bad thing. On hole 3. And checking in with the leaderboard. 5 players tied for first through 3 holes at 3 down.
Local action in there. Allison Mabbitt, she's from just outside the Seattle area, is that right?
Yeah, she is a Washington local. Really good woods player. Really nice human.
Katrina Allen! Maria Oliva! She's done it! Kristen Tatar!
Sai, Ananda. Stacy Diaz.
Champion Open at Austin!
Paige Pierce.
Hole 4, par 3, 295 feet. You can kind of go left or right of this tree, but really just trying to push something straight through this gap. And if you hyzer out early, that's not too bad of a problem. There's still lots of open area on the left here. this is a pretty straightforward hole, pretty relatively open green for this course, but a bit of a tough gap off the tee.
Yeah, this tree in the middle. Oh, that one right there. Bad timing on my part. It just kind of cuts the gap in half. Kind of have to shape something either just inside of it or just around it.
Yeah, and those bushes there on the right that Sai is behind are pretty tall. That's going to be a challenging upshot for her.
This is that J that she's been throwing around all weekend.
That looks great. Yeah, nice shot. Nessa a little left, getting some nice flip up there, but catches that last tree.
I think Vanessa's actually throwing passion there.
That makes sense. Man, and that angle looked great from Lisa. Just pushed it a little long. Giving it a toss up. That'll be a tap in bogey for Lisa. Yeah, Sai having to use a lot of vertical space there on her approach.
It's hard to lean your disc up against the pole. I feel like it's almost as hard as an ace.
Yeah, it is pretty hard. And she leaned it from kind of the backside too. But a nice birdie for Mertsch. Sai cleaning up the par. We saw Sai on day one. A lot of pars on the front nine, a lot more birdies on the back nine. It seems like she's continuing on with that trend today.
And she seems content with the par too. I think these players are they now know that this course is playing hard for the field, and 4 down led the way yesterday. It's potentially 4 down could lead the way again. So I think pars and sprinkling a few birdies and you'll be all right.
Absolutely, yeah. I was expecting this course to play a little bit easier than it ended up playing. So, yeah, pars are not bad at all. Hole 5, par 4, 535 feet. Really want to shape something left to right off the tee. And you really do want to push pretty far right here. But there is a gap on the left side. If you end up over there, there is a little bit of out of bounds as well on this hole on the left side of the fairway. Cat using the whole fairway. And she got a late kick
out
there.
Of bounds. Yeah, that's so unfortunate.
That looks really great out of her hand. She must have pushed the back wall a little too much. Sai hitting first available on the left side, getting a pretty gnarly kick into the right rough. So that's going to be a really tough scramble for her. Vanessa squeezing through inside of that tree and also another tree kick. Fortunately, not as bad as Cat, but still not ideal.
Ooh, flippy fairway here.
Doesn't quite get enough height to really ride out that right drift, but in the middle of the fairway.
And Sai's still going to have a lot to navigate.
And this hole actually played as the second most difficult hole today.
Oh, wow.
So really getting in a couple tough ones early.
It's hard to even tell where the good spot to land is. Just on camera, it's like I don't even know where they're trying to land.
Yeah, I don't really either. Even as a player, it's kind of, it's really hard to see off the tee as well. So you kind of just hope to get around the corner and progress to an open spot. That looks really nice for Mertsch.
Yeah, it was just a cool frame. Sai still has quite a bit to work with, and audible snap on that one. Oh, look at that shot, Ella.
That is a great shot. Great scramble for looking like a par for Sai after hitting first available. Really well done for her.
Yeah, nice scramble from Lisa. Vanessa in a pretty tricky spot. A little flick of the wrist up high there, and she'll have a little 30-footer for her par.
Come on, baby.
Wow. Par save for Kat. Wow, very well done. Excellent upshot, excellent putt. She is loving it.
Having a good time out there on the course.
Missing left for Vanessa. Oh, man.
Putting for par, going to take a double bogey there.
That's rough.
Vanessa did say that she was feeling a little nervous heading into the round, so she didn't quite feel comfortable when she was warming up her putts this morning.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think this might be her first or one of her first lead cards of the season, so definitely a little bit nerve-wracking. She takes a double, pars for the rest of the card. Shout out to Rachel Turton, who was on our feature card yesterday, snagged the only birdie of the round for FPO today.
Sweet.
Hole 6, par 3, 325 feet. Gotta stay to the right of this mando tree as we're passing. And you really either want to push something straight and hyzer into the gap, or you can cut the corner a little bit, throw something a little flippier through this inside window here. And you want to give it some height so you can avoid the bushes, but you also don't want to give it too much height and go skipping long. Very, very protected green. It can feel really good out of your hand and might be 100 feet away from the basket.
Yeah, this is one of the holes I think of at Shelton that you can be confident through that initial gap, but it's hard to choose which hallway to fly up. Sai really likes to take that right to left angle on the tee pad, just 2 steps, but she kind of starts off the pad and finishes near the middle.
Looks a little
early. Yeah, that's that front hallway. I think that's really the best you can do if you go that early.
Yeah. Oh. Early release for Vanessa.
It's kind of worst case right there. She hasn't missed the mando, but has to still navigate around it.
And looks like she's just pitching up. That looks nice. Getting herself in the circle. 1. Cat with a little nose up spinner half bid there.
Looked good from this angle.
Sure did.
She's going to continue her streak of pars.
Lisa, to me, for some reason, always kind of looks like when she does those kind of longer spin putts, looks like she's just scared to watch what's going to happen. She almost like tosses it and then looks away. 6 pars in a row for Sai.
Unfortunate little lapse in the focus there. I don't know if there was some noise behind her that kind of distracted her.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily feel like it when you're playing, but a lot of these holes are very close to each other. So with galleries on a couple of other cards, definitely might be getting close to up in other people's business. And Allie Smith with a nice 3 down round. She's tied with Kat Mertsch at 4 down for the lead. And Sai and Allison Mabbitt hanging in there, tied for 3rd place. A lot of movement on this course. I mean, you can be in the lead one hole, you can be tied for 7th the next hole.
Yeah, especially on this front. People are really... The field has been struggling so far on this front 9.
Absolutely.
Averages several over par. And here we're headed back out into the open. Wind was kind of coming right to left here today, and it definitely had an effect on the flight of the disc.
It did, yeah. And this hole is very straightforward, just kind of not even really much of a gap off the tee. You just want to avoid the out of bounds on the left and avoid pushing it too long and getting into that rough in that line of trees. That is flipping up nicely, but
she was headed straight at the basket though, and she's throwing a stable 9-speed there. I think she's going Thunderbird and really needs to commit to the width out over the blooming flowers on the left, or pardon me, the right. See if Sai can commit to the width here.
that looks really nice.
Yeah, a little right to the left's going to help this hyzer. A little skip. All right.
Yeah,
wow.
okay. Beautifully done for Sai.
Yeah, it's going to net her first birdie of the round.
Not quite enough distance for Lisa. It looked a little nose up out of her hand. Just a little right for Vanessa, but
It's kind of at the far end of her range, so I feel like she has to go a little bit more under staple.
yeah.
And it kind of just straightened out on her a bit.
Bit of a weird footing for her, but a good pitch up inside the bullseye. Nice run for Lisa. Just missing a little right. Calling out the
She's
wobble.
talking to her disc.
And a bit of an adjustment for sure, kind of going in and out of the woods. This is one of the most exposed baskets on the course, especially, we got hole 2, but definitely making you think a little more about your putting with some wind.
Cat called it the own wobble.
Yep. I don't think it was quite as wobbly as own.
Not quite. But is she still out there dominating the U.S. Masters, Ella?
Yeah, she is definitely dominating in typical own style. So Vanessa getting a little back on track with a par there. And Sai with a tap in birdie, getting herself to 1 under on the round. Hole 8, par 4, 555 feet. Really just trying to get some distance out to this gap. There is a Mando. You have to go left of, I think mostly just for safety with hole 10's basket. And really trying to get into this gap a little bit more open than, say, hole 3, which is kind of a similar looking hole to this one. A little bit of a shorter approach once you get to the edge of the woods. We saw Sai push a little long and miss the Mando yesterday. And that looks a lot better.
Changes the game plan up quite a bit. A little bit slower.
And this hole isn't too long, and the gap is a little more open, so it doesn't hurt too much to be not quite up at the edge of the tree line off the drive. Cat giving it a big rip. A nice forward skip, almost right to where that drop zone is. That'll set her up nicely. Lisa a little shorter left side.
Yeah, Lisa not quite getting the pop on that one that she's looking for.
That looks great for Vanessa, getting a nice flip up. And
still a little short of the gap, but in a good position. What do they have here? Like 250 to the pin?
Yeah, I think probably the 250, 300 range. That's good shape, just a couple degrees righter than she was hoping.
Yeah, that looked like a nice angle. Kicked it back into a hyzer.
Wow. She'll be inside circle 2. That looks nice for Sai. Still a little short. Maybe wanted a little more height on that.
Cat way up the fairway.
Oh, man.
She's a goofy woman.
Looks like
Has
she
a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, looks
she
like
said,
she's
it can't
missing
be.
her gap a little to the left of what she wanted, but snuck through up into the circle.
Oh, that's all right. That stops it at 20.
Giving it a run.
A patented side straddle.
And she does use her legs,
Sunstein.
but most players, when they're straddling out, they're looking to not quite take their stance that wide.
No, I don't know how you generate it power on a 50-footer
Yeah.
when you're straddling that far. But she does it. Oh.
Good putt for Lisa. A little surprising for me to see just 4 birdies on the day. This feels like one of the most gettable par 4s on the course.
Just 4 birdies, you said?
Just 4.
Wow, that is a shock. Definitely an attackable short par 4. We're headed back into the woods where we will remain for the rest of the round. This is a dead straight par 3.
Yeah, there's quite a few options on this hole. It is dead straight. You can throw just a straight shot right down the middle. There is also some airspace to the right. You'll probably see a couple of backhand flex shots around that way. There is also a left side forehand gap. A lot of ways to get up to this green. And I really enjoy these kind of holes. I think it's fun to have those different options and really kind of see what players see off the tee and what they're looking for as their highest percentage shots. I think Sai threw that a little higher, not quite as much turn as she was hoping for, but somehow doesn't hit anything.
Yeah, and there's that line you were talking about on that right side. Just a little too much torque for that disc.
Lisa playing more of the straight shot. Eyes just out a bit, and there's a big old bush there that's gonna be obstructing her.
Vanessa kind of turns away from the target early, but you know, she keeps her eye like on the disc.
Yeah.
Kind of unique.
Yeah. She definitely has unique form and gives her an advantage in these woods, and Cyber really likes to get that wide stance. Basically in like a full squat.
I'm right here, too.
For like
Yeah.
at least 2% of all her disc golf rounds, she's in a squatting
Yeah.
stance.
Yeah, and even when she's not straddle putting, she really likes to kind of
Yeah, she like
looks
squats
like she's
down
almost
before
like
she
sitting.
throws. Yeah. Lisa had a little window there.
Good run for Kat.
Tough front 9 for VVD. That was her last chance at a birdie on the front.
Ooh.
Yeah, kind of a tough front for Kat as well. She's going to shoot even, just one birdie, one bogey. Lisa also going to finish over par. Oh, no way.
Frustration for Vanessa.
Yeah, it's her second 3-putt of the front.
That's tough. This hole actually played as the second easiest hole on the day. Kind of surprising to me. I mean, there's definitely a lot of ways to get the birdie, but also a lot of trees you can hit, so a little surprised to see that, but
Shelton Springs kind of showing its teeth there. Just 3 birdies collectively on this front 9, Ella. We appreciate you guys tuning in to see who takes down the Cascade Challenge up here in Washington State. It is a Disc Golf Pro Tour Silver Series event, and these points are... The points race is pretty tough right now in the season, Ella.
it really is. Yeah, we're trying to get as many points as we can and hoping to shoot up in the rankings.
From Ella Hansen and Nate Perkins, thank you guys for joining us here on Central Coast Disc Golf. We will see you soon for part 2 from round 2 of the Cascade Challenge.